Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Year of Lupin retrospective with me, your host, Donald Wonder. We're continuing the retrospective, getting right back on track, talking about the movies and TV specials. If you were here last time, I actually spoke about that mini special called Is Lupin Still Burning? It was like an extra on the Blu-ray of Lupin the Third Part 5. Yeah, that was a real blast to the past. It was fun. It was too short, but I really enjoyed talking about that. And I also spoke about how I would introduce someone to the whole franchise of Lupin the Third. Check out that video. The link is in the iCard of YouTube, or I'll put it in the link down in the description below. But now we're moving on to 2019's movie TV special, which is called Goodbye Partner, which I was very excited to watch for two reasons, which I'll get into right now. So Goodbye Partner is a movie that I will say I found pretty middle of the road enjoyable, but it really treads along very similar Lupin traits. More recently with Part 5, there was an emphasis on technology and social media, stuff like that, and I think that plays a big part in this movie. Well, just let's get the plot out of the way. So the plot is that Lupin is, well, you know what? Actually, let me do this a different way. One of the way when this starts, Lupin is doing a heist. I think he's in Singapore, and he's stealing something from like a casino. Zenigata chasing him as usual, and then Lupin gets away as usual. But then Zenigata is arrested, and basically this is the one thing I thought was hilarious, and this could have been a great idea for a TV special on its own. Basically, I don't know if it's an ICPO, but Zenigata is arrested, and then whoever, I think the governing body who arrests Zenigata says, you know what, you've been trying to catch Lupin for 50 goddamn years, or however long this franchise is going on for, and the reason why he gets away all the time is because of you. You are the mastermind. You're part of Lupin's team. That's why Lupin always gets away. Now, I know this is a small thing, and I've gone on a tangent, but I thought it was such a funny idea, because I always complain how Zenigata is seen as incompetent. But what if the trick was, what if they made a movie where actually, plot twist, Zenigata is part of the team all along, or he does get arrested and the whole movie is about Lupin trying to prove that Zenigata isn't part of the team, which is only this is a very small part of this movie, but I thought as an idea, it was A, funny, and B, I think it had enough legs to be a TV special. Now, I'm saying that because most of the TV specials, the plots aren't that interesting. This one in particular is very run-of-the-mill. Basically, after Zenigata gets arrested, Lupin gets upset that they all think Zenigata's been helping him all this time. So I think basically Lupin gets kind of coerced into stealing this, this magical diamond that can run a supercomputer. And the businessman, and basically it's a whole master plan. This guy wanted Lupin to steal this supercomputer diamond so he could use it to become president of the United States and take over the world, blah 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 blah. I mean, you've seen this kind of story before. Now the other element that made this movie interesting, which you might have seen in the trailer, is that this is a movie, well, it's called Goodbye Partner because Daisuke Jigen betrays Lupin. For some reason, when Lupin goes to steal this supercomputer diamond thing, Jigen actually betrays him. So I was like, wow, I wonder what the motivation is going to be for Jigen to do this. Are they going to take this seriously? Well, you know, if you're a long time Lupin fan, you know that there's something going on. But I just thought they would have took this a bit more seriously. But when all is seen and done, and Jigen's got this relationship to this girl's mother, and now this movie is kind of a hodgepodge of different ideas from different Lupin movies done again, but it doesn't do any. It's okay in general. I thought it was entertaining. It's still funny. I'll talk about the plot at the end. Let's talk about the characters now. Lupin's good, same old Lupin, funny, heist, lovable, happy-go-lucky Lupin. That's fine. I think Goemon, he's actually a little, because Jigen is kind of separated from Lupin a lot in this movie. You see a lot of Lupin and Goemon together, which is kind of funny. And Goldman's fun. He's funny, makes a few funny comments here. Fujiko is actually, as she always is, she's kind of swindling the villain on her side, working a different angle. But she has a few interactions with this girl who is being held hostage to play a note on the keyboard to help the supercomputer thing. The girl is not really worth mentioning. She's just a damsel in distress being held against her will to help this supercomputer guy. And as for the villain, this is as twirly mustachey as you get. He really does remind me of Mamo in a way from the first Lupin movie, The Secret of Mamo. But he's just a bit of an idiot. The one thing that impressed me about him was that he doesn't underestimate Lupin, and there's a part, let's say 3/4 near the end of the movie, where Lupin thinks he's got him, but no, the guy's not taking anything for granted. The guy's a nerd. He's a super evil, nerdy guy. He wants to become president, blah blah. He's not interested in that all, but he's a little bit smarter than average. So honestly, the thing that bothers me about this movie is the Jigen thing, betraying Lupin. It's not really set up very well. They give you bits and pieces of why he's doing it. He's doing this because he knew the girl's mom, and he has to do it against his will. I mean, but then the guy who's forcing him to do it, they used to work together. But the relationship between the girl's mother and Jigen, again, you've seen this before. Jigen has a relationship with a woman in the past. They don't work out. Then the woman has a kid. I mean, on the whole, this is kind of a forgettable Lupin TV special, but it's not really bad either. The animation is okay by 2019 standards. It's pretty run-of-the-mill. I actually think Part 5 had better animation than this. I've seen TV specials and movies in the early 2010s and even in the 2000s that had better animation than this. It's good for 2019, but it's nothing special, nothing to write home about. So, and the last thing I want to mention, which was for me personally, I even mentioned this on the last discussion, that seeing Lupin wearing a black jacket, I thought maybe this is a new era. Maybe this is, the blue jacket time's over. We're going to start with black jacket now. But even when he put on the jacket, he was just like, I don't want to wear this. It's too plain. And I was like, so this is just like maybe the animation studio just wanted to try something different, because I don't think he's going to be wearing a black jacket in the next movie. So, I mean, the movie is just passable. I wish there was something that really stood out of the movie. Honestly, I really think the Zenigata angle was the funniest part. With the Jigen betraying Lupin thing, we all knew how that was going to end. So I wasn't really thinking much about that. And the thing about the AI supercomputer, when the bad guy is kind of removed from the plot near the end and the supercomputer kind of takes over, that was somewhat interesting to watch the supercomputer do what they do. And ironically, there was an emphasis on weapons. Whenever they spoke about weapons, there's a bit where the US government is using all these weapons. Jigen and Lupin are using all these weapons. They talk about weapons quite a lot at one point, which is pretty interesting. I kind of felt like they delved deep into that. I was like, okay, they really want to talk about weapons and show you weapons from historical times, which is interesting. Oh, I can't believe I forgot this. Animation. There was one part of the animation that did stand out, and that is whenever Fujiko or this young girl were playing the piano, you notice they use CG animation for the hand movements. It looks so distracting when they're playing it slowly, but when they play it fast, it's better. I think I don't do this often, but this is one of those times I want to actually point to another anime review for this. There was I think this guy was called Anime Visor. He really broke down why this movie has so much plot holes in a much more constructive way than me. To be honest with you, I just thought this movie was bleh. It made me chuckle a bit. It was okay, but it was like an episode, a very average episode of a TV series. This could have been an episode of Part 5, and it was kind of derivative in that way. But it's nice to see Lupin in the black jacket and stuff like that. But honestly, it's kind of forgettable. Personally, I would give this a just okay. I've seen worse. I've definitely seen worse. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. When I went on YouTube, I saw Anime Visor's review. I thought he did a very constructive review. We're on the same page. It was just okay. When I went on my anime list, IMDb, and I read the reviews there, people were just, again, kind of disappointed. Kind of thought this was par for the core of Lupin. There. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can say. The movie Goodbye Partner is a little bit disappointing because it has potential with the Zenigata idea and the Jigen idea, but it doesn't fall through with those two. And then most of it's just run of the mill. So I'm just beating a dead horse. What did you think of Goodbye Partner? Leave your comments down in the comment section down below. Yes, we've got 3 more movies to watch before I catch up. On a side note, someone pointed this out to me on YouTube, which I thought was really funny. Someone recut one of the Lupin specials I disliked the most. The secret, is it The Legend of Babylon? There's an English dub, a fan recut of it on YouTube, where I watched it again in English dub. I didn't watch the original in English dub, so watching it in English dub does make this movie a lot more palatable. But it just reminds me why I keep on harping on about this, why part 3 doesn't work. When I watch this movie again, it's fun and so silly. It's so Looney Tunes, it's insane. But I want to give a shout out to the guy who tried to re-edit the dub of Legend of Babylon. It's worth a watch. But I was reading the comment section of that video, and a lot of people aren't happy with the recut. When that movie, honestly, I think this is a good cut of this movie. You know, I actually think the guy did a good job on one of the most disliked Lupin III TV specials. So anyway, that was just a tangent. I just wanted to get it off my mind. And let's leave it at that, guys. We're continuing the retrospective Lupin III. I'm catching up with the movies, guys. Leave a comment down below. Share your thoughts as always. Subscribe to the channel for more Lupin III content. I'm happy to move on to the next one. Guys, again, there's going to be a bit of a delay, so you might be waiting a couple of weeks for the next one. But stay tuned. Looking forward to reviewing that one. I believe it's Fujiko's Light. I might be wrong, but we'll see. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys on the next recording. Take care. Peace out.